Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Gloria here, and if you don't know who I am, I'm a junior doctor living in Ghana. On this channel I share content on medicine, lifestyle and faith, and today's video is going to be on medicine. As you can see, I have my stethoscope hanging here. Oh my god, I am so cringe. I have my stethoscope hanging here because I said it's a medicine video. So let's add some medicine aesthetic to the entire. This video is going to be, from the title, is going to be on how to choose a hospital facility for your house job or your housemanship in Ghana. I'm going to be sharing tips and things that I feel like you should probably consider when you're making the choice. In case you don't know what housemanship is a 2-year period after medical school in Ghana where you're basically a doctor. Okay, let's make that very clear, because I remember recently there was just this whole thing going on social media where people were like, hospitals are not doctors. Like, excuse me. We're not gonna sit here and do that, okay? Let's learn. No, but for real, house officers are doctors. They're working with a provisional license, and basically that means that they have to have supervision of specialists and consultants, and it's a 2-year compulsory period after medical school in Ghana. And after that 2 years, you get awarded with your permanent registration that allows you to work without supervision. So that's very simple. I have finished my housemanship. I finished in the year 2021, December of 2021. So it's been about a year since I finished house job. And I just wanted to make this video because I know that choosing the hospital where you do your house job at can be sometimes quite tricky, and you just don't know where to go. There are a number of options and all of that. For the most part, house job has to be done in government hospitals. There are a few hospitals that are not government owned, but those ones are usually like child institutions. So those are like the religious institutions, like religious hospitals, like maybe places like Bato, Pentecostal, so that have like an affiliation to churches. But apart from that, most of them are government hospitals. Most of them are usually either regional hospitals or teaching hospitals, because they have to usually have specialists and consultants, and these are the places that you usually would find these people. And so you have a number of options from in almost every region of the country. There are some hospitals that you will find house officers in, and so you can make the choice. Really, if you're like me, where you can be quite indecisive at times, it can make it quite difficult to choose where to go. But I'm going to try to help you in this video. So let's just get right. The first thing that you have to keep in mind is the location of the hospital and whether they provide accommodation or not. This is very important because there are some hospitals that might be in a region where you don't live. Like my first year housemanship, it was in Greater Accra region, and the hospital that I was in, even though they provided accommodation, it wasn't enough to go around, and so I eventually ended up not getting accommodation. But because I live in Accra, I was able to live at home and then commute to work. But that was good. But in case you don't actually have, like maybe you don't have a house or you don't live in wherever you are deciding to go to, and they don't provide accommodation as well, or getting accommodation, because most of them might provide, but then is it enough to go around? That means you might have to rent a place, you might have to look for a friend, family to live with. So you have to consider all of those dynamics, that if I go here and they don't give me accommodation, do I have alternatives? Because the last thing you want to do is not really have a place where you can be comfortable, because after spending those number of hours, you just want to be able to come back to a place where you can just relax and unwind, and to not be able to do that is really a problem. So just do your research, find out. There are some hospitals that do very well and make sure that they provide accommodation for every single house officer, but there are also other places that honestly do not. And so talk to people, find out before you make that. Second thing to also consider is more of your skills and interest, okay? And so different hospitals are popular for different things, okay? And different hospitals have different strengths. And so there are some hospitals that have really excellent surgical teams, and if you go and do surgery there, you will have like very hands-on practice. You'll be able to cut as we popularly say. You'll be able to cut, you'll be able to do so many things. And there are places that don't really have that that much, or even if they do, sometimes the hierarchy and the system in place before you even get a cut. Like, you had to go through a lot, and so within that 6-month rotation you might not get to do as much as someone who is somewhere where there's just more opportunity. Okay, in my second year housemanship, the facility that I was in, where I did my ONG, like, I got to do cesarean sections by myself. I got to assist so many times. Like, it was just there, for us to do. Like, if you want to do it, just do it. Even somewhere else did not really have, some other places not really have those opportunities. So some people went to other places not really have those opportunities. And so if you know that you are particularly interested in certain food, you are very interested in ops and gynae, and you want to kind of like have a head start a bit. I mean, regardless, whatever, even if you don't get a great, rotation in the specialty that you're interested in, that's why residency is there. You'll get to learn all over again. So don't be too hard on yourself. But in case you just kind of wanted that, or sometimes you're not really sure, you want to really have a proper feel of the specialty. You want to really find out that this hospital, what are their strengths, what is really good to do here, and then sort of work your way around it. The next thing to also really consider is welfare and work-life balance situation. Okay, so you want to find out, how is it like to work there, and with this you really want to talk to people who have done their house job in this particular hospital or facility. You want to ask them, like, how is it like? Please give me the rundown. You want to know welfare things like, do they provide allowance? That's separate of the pay that you're going to be receiving every month, because everyone kind of gets paid similar, but then depending on the facility that you find, some facilities have extra allowances. And when I tell you that, when you hear how much some facilities pay their house visitors as allowance, is nice. Some places are really, really, really nice. And so you want to kind of find out some of these things, because sometimes if the place gives a good amount of allowance, if you had to even like maybe find your own place to live or rent a place, it might end up not being such a bad idea, because those costs will be able to cover, or those allowances will be able to cover for other costs or transport, stuff like that. So you want to find out about these things. You want to find out how is it very, like, how are the bosses typically like, what's their culture like. If you're someone that you don't really like, a lot of stress, and maybe just the way you don't want somewhere where they'll make you feel very down and these kind of things, you can kind of just ask around and find out and have a fair feel, so that you not only know, but you prepare yourself before you go, if you do decide to go to that particular. Ultimately, I want to just say that make the most out of wherever you find yourself, because the truth of the matter is that MDC will allow you to choose, but then they can still throw you anywhere. Okay, for my second year house job, I remember that I think I chose Koforidia and somewhere in Kumasi. They threw me somewhere else. I ended up still staying in Accra, but like, you don't always get what you want. Okay, there are times that you choose. In my first year, what I wanted is what I got, but in my second year they gave me something completely different, a place that I had no idea about, and so you just sort of have to just decide that you're going to make the most out of wherever you end up, because at the end of the day, I really believe that a house job is just a place where you learn your basic skills and your work ethic, and there's always, no matter how the place is like, there's definitely something to learn. You definitely will have a specialist who will be in charge of you, and so that's a specialist no matter what. There is something to learn from that person, and so at the end of the day, just make up your mind that whatever happens, MDC, because MDC can throw you, okay? They can throw you, make all of the decisions, you do all of your research, you choose a place, and MDC will not give it to you, because obviously they have to look at the numbers and be able to spread it across evenly. So just decide that no matter what you choose, or no matter what you end up getting, you're just going to do your best, make the most, and then just, it's 6 months. At the end of the day, tops, you're spending a year there. Some people just spend 6 months at one facility and they move on to another facility. So at most, you're spending a year there and you'll be done with it. It will come. I promise. It will end. House job can really be stressful, but it is going to end one day and you'll be fine. Ultimately, I also just say that really pray to God, if you believe in God and you surrender your life to Him. I am a Christian and I believe in Jesus, and I believe that He has the best blueprint for our lives. And so ultimately, you want to also take into prayer and really ask God to help and to direct and help you make the decisions that you have to make. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you really like this video, I would encourage you to check this other video that I'm going to link in the description box. It's a video where I share, I believe, 10 tips that would help you in your house job period. It's a very popular video, has over 1,000 views. I mean, popular by my standards, like I'm a small channel, so, but it's a video that people have found really helpful. And so in case you're a medical student, or you're just starting your house job, you're just about to start your house job, you just got posted, anything of that sort, I believe that video will be very helpful, where I share tips and just hacks in this whole house job thing. Okay, no matter what you go bray, no matter what you go bray means you probably suffer. I mean, it's house job, you're bottom of the food chain. But say no to bullying, okay? Say no to bullying. In case you follow medical social media, there was this whole drama, nurse, doctor stuff. But then the entire one of the points in that whole drama that's happening right now is that house job is a period where a lot of house officers get bullied. So many times people take you for granted. Meanwhile, you're really an asset to the medical team and to the team. Like there's so much that house officers do, and people should be nice. Like all of the other staff should be nice to house officers. Bosses, we ask you to be nice to us, please. And even you yourself, as you're finishing, and like you will not be a house officer forever. When you become a medical officer, when you become a resident, when you become a specialist, make up your mind that you would go the extra mile to be nice to house officers, because that's the only way the cycle gets like broken and it gets changed. Okay. All right. If there are any other video ideas relating to medicine, house job, medicine in Ghana that you'd like me to address, kindly comment them down below and I'll be sure to try and film about it. Okay. All right then. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.